Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Miss Silly Lessons Learned. Today, I have an amazing, guest. And he's one of, the person in the community, people in the community that I truly value and highly, admire because he is not only, a great, professional, but he also has given so much to the Lao community. Some of the things he have done for the Lao community, uh, most of the people don't even know because he's not the type to go about, bragging about what he has done for the community. He's the silent one, the silent one behind the scene that does all these things for the Lao community. So without further ado, let me introduce, I Norasack, and he's going to tell us about his career, his education, journey. I Norasack, can you start out with like your title, your name, and your career?
Sure. สบายดี uh, ข้าพเจ้าชื่อ Norasack. My name's Norasack. Pathammavong. Uh-huh. Um, most of people know me by an I job sometimes. Yeah, and I think most of the Lao community know me by my nicknames. I job, and but my client, my professional networking know me by Norasack. And I have my own company, Norasack Design, which is located in Alexandria, Virginia, which is about 15 minutes from Washington, D.C., our capital. Anyway, I have been in the business probably about 38 years. Start since 83. As you know, I'm a Lao refugee. 9 months in a Thailand camp and came here in the early 80s. And I came here when I was late teen already and stayed with my sister, no parent, and one small apartment, I think 2 bedroom, but 8 people.
Yes.
On welfare, and as you know,
Yes.
as a refugee's life. And I went to high school for a year and a half.
Wow.
And I, of course, ESL classes. I turned 18 and then they kicked me out, literally, of high school because my age,
Wow.
because I'm too old to
Right.
go on to the next grade. And I asked my counselor, what should I do? They said, well, go to college. I think that was only 2 years in USA and limited English. And I said, how do I do that? And they said, well, go get a GED, and and I went, and somehow I passed. I didn't know how.
Wow.
I was still an ESL student at that time, and
Right.
2 years in US. I think I have a little bit background. I'm pretty strong in math and science and those things that
Yes.
help.
Mhm.
That's why I have my
Mhm.
GED. And sorry about that.
That's okay. Uh-huh.
Shoot, that's my client.
Let
And
me edit another side.
I'm gonna message her that I'm gonna call her later.
Okay.
See, I'm
Yeah.
juggling two.
This is real life. I know, Sak,
Yeah,
right? It's example of real life, when you have
yeah,
clients
I'm juggling
calling.
a couple of clients here and there. They call and just like our interview right now.
Right.
Kind of,
Using it in between.
I'm in between. I'm a receptionist, cleaner of my office and everything. Art
Yes.
director. Anyway, at high school, right? GED. I took that and took that to college. Small community here, which is 2-year community in Virginia. And they asked me, what do you like to do? And I said, well, I'm always like to draw and paint. They said, okay, take a graphic design.
Wow.
I didn't even know what graphic design. was at that time. I said, okay. and
Yeah.
then and that how it started.
Yeah. I know. It's like, what's that difficult though? Because I mean, like you said, you only been in the United States 2 years. And because I remember, when I was, I came when I was 8. And then it took me, a while to gain like the academic language. And then you just basically went, go get your GED and then went straight to college. And then graphic designing is not actually like an easy field, right? To, go into. How were you able to like, figure it out, like what you had to do.
Well, I think it's in your blood. Uh, when you have, I can gonna say talent, and you always like say if you love to fix car, right? Of course, good in your hand and mechanic, all those things. Then you pursue your career to be a great mechanic, right? Open a auto shop, and if you like helping people, teaching, then you be a teacher. See,
Yeah.
and I'm always in my blood that I'm always involved with art since I was a kid. Because I remember when
Wow.
I was 14 years old, and my younger brother, and always, in Laos,
Yeah.
we shared a bed, right, with the
Yes.
mosquito net. He always with me. He always came visit me, and I'm always draw something for him in a
Wow.
notepad. And sometimes kids like war game thing. I draw some war thing, let him play with it, and
Yeah.
I'm always good with drawing.
Wow. So it's
And,
natural. It was a natural fit. Um,
right.
I know it's like, how were you able to pay for those classes, the community classes?
I work part time
Yeah.
and and try to uh, support myself and Pell Grant and help and loan help, especially in a graphic design field. You spend a lot of money,
Right.
and without parent and stay with a sister, which is she has two kids of her own. It kind of tough for us, and
Right.
it wasn't easy and
Right.
financially and emotionally very
Yes.
tough. And somehow, without guidance, actually, I just did it myself. I said I had to finish high school. I got to go to college. I have to, study.
Mhm.
And one story I always telling my intern or
Yes.
graphic designer that passed through my firm.
Mhm.
I'm always telling this. In one class that we have a project that you have to uh, uh, show them on a project. My instructor always asks, but I'm always get the A plus. Okay,
Yes.
straight
Uh-huh.
A. My instructor said, Norasack, I just wondering why you use red and blue color all the time. You know, sometimes the assignment you have to cut color paper and
Oh,
to build something artwork.
yes. Uh-huh.
And he noticed that I use those color a lot. You know,
Yes.
and then I told you, I'm very honest. I said, you know what?
Mhm.
That's only color that left over from the other classes. And I
Wow.
couldn't afford to buy any color. At that
Oh,
time, color sheet is $3,
wow.
$3.50, right?
Yes.
And when you work like 250 or $3 per hour, and
Yes.
I told him I couldn't afford it, and I used the leftover and used that and cut it the paper. And his
Yes.
and friend of mine very rich, right? They got rainbow color and the and the poster. Mine just red, white, blue,
Yeah.
left over from the other classes.
Right.
But I managed. I graduated cum laude,
Mhm.
you know,
Wow.
3.7. Uh, only Laotian graphic designer at that time,
Yes.
1983.
Yes.
And I managed to make this to be my career. Unfortunately, I can make this my lifelong career until
Yes.
now, which is I never changed my career. I know as a graphic designer all my life.
Wow. I know,
Yeah,
Zach, in our conversation earlier, right? You had mentioned
yeah.
it's hard being a minority, right? In, being a graphic designer. Can you talk about that? How do you go about like,
Um,
finding clients and, setting up your reputation, right?
yeah. Before getting to my company I created in 2000.
Mhm.
Prior to that, I used to work with different firms, and one firm that I joined, which is I worked there. I used to work at 10 years
Uh-huh.
with that firm in Virginia. I started with them as a assistant art director,
Wow.
as a minority. I joined him in 3 months. He moved me up to art director.
Wow.
Past, I think we have about 10 designer.
Mhm.
Of course, I'm a minority. It's kind
Yes.
of tough for me because almost like I step on a couple toes already, because one senior designer there already, and it's not quite happy because, hey, this
Yeah.
young Asian came in and he was a senior designer, but I came
Mhm.
in as assistant art director, which is above him already. It kind
Yes.
of, it kind of, not too pleased because he
Right.
worked there 10 years before me. And then
Mhm.
after 3 months, I went to be almost like vice president, which is art director, just one
Right.
step below my boss.
Wow.
Yep. And art director or creative art director is highest position
Mhm.
in our field.
Right.
Uh, I just managed to use Asian, which is the East and the West, uh, uh, imagination
Yes.
to creative. I mix those
Yes.
East and West culture together. That's why my
Mhm.
art, my design is a little bit different, like poster or branding or anything at all.
Right.
That I have a advantage. Actually, being minority is not disadvantage.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes you use that to be your advantage to push you uh, above the norm.
Right. I love that. I love your positive outlook. You just, you basically just ran with that. So, you know what? Look, I'm gonna use my background and I'm gonna combine the East and the West, and this is how I come up with it. When it comes to, how you said you started your company in 2000, right? Norasack.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Norasack, if you want to share your screen too, and the way you can start seeing like your design and like the things you have been doing. So in 2000, you started your company. Like,
Yeah. Mhm.
what steps do you take to like go, okay, look, I'm gonna make my design this color, my letters this color. Like, do you have a dream? You wake up, like, what happened?
Basically, just the instinct that any artist. I know that a bunch of Lao artists that we have,
Yes.
which is we are very good friends, and some of us we know because we have instinct. It's like a style that you have.
Right.
Some strong in branding, some strong in painting, and some strong in cartooning and 3D modeling.
Mhm.
We, we have a unique for each with each artist. Myself, I just very strongly in graphic design, which is uh, branding, which is logo, as you know,
Mhm.
um, which is the logo that I create for our Lao community and some high-end client in DC area. Let me share the screen that
Yeah. So
the
show us, yes.
branding that I have. This is our Norasack design portfolio that when the client call us, and then we send this to them to, to show them that our sample, you know. And actually on the left hand corner here, that's my logo itself, which is ND Norasack design. This is branding. I'm gonna go to next page. Um, I'm gonna go through real quick on this one. Um, the the hardest project for the client is branding, create a logo for the company, because you capture all those information, thousands of information the client give to you, and
Wow.
condense it to little graphic.
Oh,
You know,
that's insane.
and
when
when
you
you
put
look at
when
it,
you put it that way, you have to like capture the essence of that company with like that design or logo that you're creating for them. That's amazing.
Correct. Correct. I think if any young designer that asks me, what should I do if I work with a client? I said, be a good listener, uh, and take notes, and do some research about your client, what the client like, and do some research about their competitors, and make sure that when you create their logo, make sure it's up right there, and come up the unique one.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, this one, the Business Plan Plus, you can see the letter B in there and little PP in there if you looking closely enough.
Yes.
Logo is kind of, you can throw in like Easter egg hunt, right? Easter egg, which is a hidden message in there also.
Yes.
Okay, just like FedEx, you can look at it, you can see arrow, those kind of stuff. That's fun part about branding. I'm gonna go through this real quick. We did a branding logo and then applied it to business card, all those
Wow.
website brochure. You can
Wow.
see all the look and feel of this company, right? A lot
Right.
of blue, a lot of yellow. Then we use those for the company. Um, their website, Facebook, you
Yeah.
know. And now this is another company that PR firm in DC, Addis Communication, she loved bright green, and we apply that to all the stuff that they did, the website, and infographic,
Wow.
and then they now probably a lot of Lao community know this. I'm originally designed a Legacy of War logo
Yes.
for this nonprofit in Washington D.C. And the brochure that was long time ago.
Oh my gosh, yes. I know,
uh,
I think you designed the Lana logo too, didn't you?
yeah, for the our Lao from Lana, and
Yes.
uh, for Lao community, I do set up some time to
Mhm.
give back to our Lao community.
Yes.
I most it's a volunteer uh,
Yes.
to give back to our community.
Yes.
That's a branding.
Wow.
Uh,
So I know
and
it's like when they come to you, is it like a packet that you offer them which includes like pamphlet, website design, business cards, or it's like they get to pick like what they want. You know what I
uh,
mean?
yeah, usually when a new startup company, uh, definitely start with the logo first, and then of course they need brochures and business card, signage for the store, the whole package that we give it to them.
Right. Wow.
With the corporations, not just the brochure itself, we also do a lot of conventions,
Mhm.
you know, um, the brochure for the conventions,
Mhm.
giveaway, and
Yeah.
retracting banner,
Wow.
booths. We do basically we do A to Z actually.
Yeah, you do. You like it's like a one-stop shop, I know,
Correct.
right?
Right. And
Yes.
yeah, this is our team. We have I have two strong designer with us, and the
Wow.
rest is just myself,
Yeah.
Herb Jones, vice president. Karen Addis is our senior communication strategist. Nathan, this is all our partners.
Right.
Nathan is just a web developer.
Mhm.
Yep, that's about it. This is the company.
Wow.
Uh,
That's amazing. Wow.
and let's see.
How about, I know
Yeah,
it's like what's your secret for the longevity of your company? I mean, you've been in your work because you've been in it for over 37 years, right? You say 37 or 38.
38 years. Yes. Uh-huh.
Right. So like what is your secret to like, keeping clients, to getting clients?
Yeah, on my client, usually I haven't done a lot of heavy on marketing, but I shouldn't start now because it's COVID, it's changed the whole thing. Uh, and my company is 20 some years old already, and as you know, like any company is a cycle up and down. then you have to tweak it here and there. Most of my client is from networking and word of mouth. Yeah, they tell their friends, and most of my client is they all are my friend.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, because I keep that relationship. Uh, I treat him as a friend,
Right.
and because first of all, that's my personality. I'm a very easygoing and very
Yes.
easy to talk to, and they open up to me. And any project they talk to me like 15 minutes, I already have idea for them already.
Yeah, our conversation was like 5 minutes and you really had like an idea already. I mean, I was like, oh my God, like I just barely finished anything. You really like, had the
I
idea.
sketch it out already for you,
Yeah,
right?
you really like your brain's already like ahead of me, you're like, boop, 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 boop. I was like, what?
That's a gift that even my old boss told me. It's pretty rare. He told me right up front. He said, Norasack, it's hard to find a person like you, which is
Yes.
that you have a vision. When usually my boss and I, we always drive together to go meeting to meet a
Yeah.
new client or old client or pick up a project. We went into the meeting, and by the time I took a lot of notes, by the time we drove back, it probably take about an hour, 45 minutes back to the office. I already told him already, my boss,
Wow.
that how here's my vision about this project, and he saw it. And then I
Yes.
came back to the office and I set up the design team and finished that up. And he told me that when he gives some job to another designer, he said he couldn't sleep. He worried, toss and turn. And when he gave that project to me, he said, I don't have to worry.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's how the trust and people see in myself and my firm.
Yes. And I think they gravitate towards you and ourselves because you have such an easy personality and you very, giving and caring, and people gravitate towards that. I know it's like, I know our time's almost up, but I know along the walls behind you are all the awards that you have won.
Back there,
Yes,
yes.
can you please talk about that? Like, what have you won for? Okay, what kind of
Uh,
awards?
yeah, all those award in the background. Uh, that's the oldest one is since 1985.
Wow.
Yeah, and till now, and most of the award is branding. And um, sometime in Washington D.C. they have a art director club of Washington when they call for entry, and they have different categories like logos, and we submit it from our firm.
Wow.
And over United States, they might have probably more than 10,000 entry, and,
Wow.
and they pick the one that outstanding and unique. And I have been collecting those more than 100 awards. In the background, I just some, most of them in the box.
Yes, yes.
And I must say, I'm pretty proud that allow to being Lao and being
Yes.
graphic designer, being minority, and
Yes.
I got this far, and most of people know that uh, award-winning graphic designer. Most a lot of people doesn't know. They ask me, "What do you do, graphic designer? What?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
you
don't they
build a
don't
house,
they don't quite understand, like
right?
how how hard it is to win those awards. Not They don't just give it out like candy, you know.
Correct,
Especially
correct.
like, I mean, like I can say, oh, I won, teacher of the year, but like in my head, I'm like, oh, there was only 5 people. I mean, there's a difference, like, in the competition, how many people are you competing in and where and what do you get, for the, award. So I think it's quite impressive.
Yep. Thank you.
Yes, and Narsak, and then also I know you collect things on the top. Remember we talked about that?
Oh
Uh,
yeah, on
Before
the
we
top.
go, yes, can you talk about that? What
Uh,
do you collect on your free time to kind of like, help you relax?
on my free time, you see me in my garden, and I'm
Yes, I
collecting.
love your garden.
I'm collecting old stuff, and behind there, right there, is
Mhm.
salt and pepper. Uh, the Disney character, all those things,
Yeah.
and, and some old stuff that I've been collecting for my office, like old
Yes.
typewriter,
Yes.
and just basically, as you know, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. That's
Yeah.
why. Most of my clients that always come back and they at ease with me,
Yes.
and I break the ice with my, joke.
Yeah.
My designer say, "Oh, don't tell a joke again,"
Like not that one again. We
Not
heard
that one.
times.
Yeah, yeah. They said, "Oh, not a bad joke again, please."
Yes. I know it's like I wish you were my boss. I would laugh so much and everything else. I'd be like, I know it's like Ken, like we go sit outside and have lunch in your garden, like I know it just like it'd be like a nice working environment. And I know you talked about already, before in our conversation, you are in your office, your workspace, right?
Yep.
Since the
Mm-hmm.
pandemic, right? I know it's like so that is
Yep.
it right there, right? Do clients come there to meet you?
Yep. We have a meeting area. Usually, I have a meeting is lunch meeting.
Yeah.
The client love that, and I love that, and make it easier. Eat lunch and talk about project. Just make
Right.
it at ease. And I
Right.
think I've been in this room for 21 years.
What?
Yes,
That's
this
insane.
room, same room.
What?
Be- Before COVID, period. And in the COVID, people say, "Oh, I have a hard time
Yeah.
work at home." I said, "Hey,
You're like, it's
I
natural,
already started 10 years ago."
right? You're like, I was already ahead of game. I knew this was going to happen,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
love it. And Arsak, I know we have to go. One last thing. What advice do you have for anyone wanting to get into your field, like want to be a graphic designer?
Okay. Uh, I'm gonna say any field, any field.
Yes.
Pursue your dreams.
Mhm.
Go for it. Don't afraid. Don't afraid failure. Just that before you get there, you might fall, you might trip. Just keep going. Don't stop.
Yes.
Little inspiration, little imagination here and there will get you far.
Yes, that's perfect ending. Thank you so much, Anursak, for your generosity and kindness, even, to take time out your busy day, with your clients calling and everything, to like talk to me. I really appreciate you so much. Everyone, once again, this is Norasack. He is truly, a great mentor, a great role model for the Lao community and for all community. So that's why I love, talking to him, because he truly is one of those most genuine person I know. I will put like his information on the description. So if you want to, hire his company to do, things for you, so you have access to him. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to share the video, subscribe, and get the information out about our community. Thank you, guys.